hear myself talk, but basically, I had this crazy dream last night, and it was pretty lucid, man. Like, I don't know if I can call it a full lucid dream, but like, it was like, from my memory of the dream itself, I remember thinking to myself that this is a dream, like literally straight up, this is a dream. And this is not the first lucid dream that I've had, but it was like partially, I would say maybe like 80 to 90% lucid, though, where like I mostly knew there might have been a little part of me that didn't have that awareness that I actually was dreaming, but like most of me knew, dude. And like it was crazy because like there's a show that was on a few years ago. I don't know if you remember it, but it was about like this like school for these like people who like they were tough or whatever, and they had to like kill each other. And they were like, they weren't like ninjas, but they were like, one of them was this like guy off the street or whatever, and he was like the main character. And then he had this black friend who would always like bully him when people were around, but then like he'd act like he'd be his friend when he wasn't. And there was this like Latin guy, and he was like super like tough and like and he was like almost like evil, like he was very vindictive, like and he had this like hot ass girlfriend who was also in the school, but they were all like trained to be like fighters and like killing machines or whatever. And it was almost like that, dude. It was almost like that kind of like school that I was in, right? And but it was weird. It was more like also like kind of like Harry Potter too at the same time. Like the school had a very magical quality to it. So like I remember specifically, dude, jumping through a window, and I do this a lot when I go lucid. For whatever reason, I love doing this. I love jumping through solid windows and then taking off and flying into the air, dude. Like and it happens a lot, man. Like when I go lucid, or I like have like not so much during astral projections because that's very different, and in a lucid dream, like, and you can tell there's differences. There's ways you can tell if you're having a lucid dream or an astral projection. And I'll actually explain that to you really quickly. So I've had multiple astral projections. I've had quite a few lucid dreams, not as many as I have had APs. But with an astral projection, it's way more real. It's like this reality, basically. It's essentially the same thing almost. Like when I have an astral projection, I get them through sleep paralysis. And what you do to get it, if you get sleep paralysis and it's scary as fuck, and you're like, oh my God, there's someone in my house, or I'm going to die if I don't like fight this, or you know that feeling like I'm going to die if I don't fight this, or there's a ghost or a demon, it's going to get me. Lay back and let it happen and just surrender to it and say, you know what? I don't care if I die. I don't care if something bad happens. I'm just going to let this happen. And you'll astral project. It's like a shit. It's almost like it's not like a shit test, but like a fear test. It's like a test. The ultimate. It was that guy who said the only thing you have to fear is fear itself, right? And you overcome the ultimate fear, the fear of surrendering to not being able to control what the fuck is going on around you, right? In a seemingly dangerous situation. So, like I'm lying there in bed, and like then I'll get it now, because after a couple times, you don't feel afraid anymore. I'll get it and I'll be like, oh yeah, here it comes, astral projection, and or sleep paralysis. I don't think astral projection, like sleep paralysis, and I start like vibrating, like you feel like your head starts buzzing, and it goes and you roll and you fall out of bed. Or for me at least, I roll. Some people rise out of their body, but I roll and when I get up, I'm in the astral projection. And it's always a little different. Like this, I'm in a basement right now, right? And so one time over there, I'm pointing in that direction. There used to be a pool table there. One time there was a bathroom there. There was an extra bathroom there. One time there were a bunch of Christmas tree lights up all over the place, and two Christmas trees up for some reason. And it was like the middle of winter, even though it was summer at the time when I like, was having the astral projection or whatever. There was one time which was really fucking cool. There were all these like Lego blocks up everywhere, like I went outside, and there was like this big ass Lego thing in my front yard. And then this one time I was in like Spain, kind of like I was in this Spanish like town, and it was it was weird, man, like because my house was the same, but then I went outside and it was like being in Spain or being somewhere in Central Europe or something like that. And then this other time I had a chain of astral projections, like 4 in a row, and I thought they were lucid dreams at the time. So I'm like, wow, cool, I'm lucid dreaming. I want to do this, I want to do that. And I accidentally discovered that during an astral projection, if you tell yourself, I want to do this, I want to do that, it will happen. So if you can astral project, try that next time it happens. Just say, think of something, write it down, and say, I want to do this. And one of the things was, I said, I want to be like a skater in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 or whatever. And I was literally transported to like the skate park on a skateboard, and it was like automatically moving around, and I could control it and veer around with it. And I like flew up into the air off this half pipe, and I could feel the wind in my fucking face, dude. And it was incredible. And I'm trying to think of the other ones. Another one, I wandered into like these woods with like these shamanic people, and they didn't want me there or whatever. So I was with my dad, and we went into these woods we weren't supposed to be in. So like, I forgot what happened, but I think we were actually welcomed into the trees or something like that. I have no idea, dude. That's the one I don't really remember. I think I have it journaled somewhere, so I'll look for it if I do. Another one, I wanted to fall through a gravity well where the gravity consistently shifted from side to side. So I'd be like skydiving, right? And I'd be falling, going shoo, but then the gravity would shift, and I go shoo, 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 like that, like back and forth in all sorts of directions, and it was amazing. And the fourth one was scary as hell. I said, I want to have a DMT trip. And I've smoked DMT. Back in 2016, I smoked it. And I had a breakthrough experience, and it was phenomenal, right? It was like the exact, like, it was like the Terrence McKenna experience, man. It was where Terrence McKenna talks about the machine elves. And they were actually like these multicolored balls of light that were impossibly colored, and they had colors that don't exist in this reality, talking to me in their language, trying to get me to speak their language. And it was a language that I could process, and I knew it like fluently, but it's like something you've never heard in this reality before. It's like the ultimate universal language that exists in all of reality. It's like coded into all of reality almost. So like beings, like let's say you're in like the afterlife, or like in some sort of afterlife realm where plants can commune with like wildlife, or like, like wildlife can commune with humans. It was like the DMT language, right? But I'm getting off track here. I don't even remember what the fuck I was talking about. I'm just ranting here now at this point, because I like talking about this shit. It's fun. So oh yeah, I said I wanted to have a DMT trip, right? And I went to I immediately started like having the trip or whatever, and it started like coming up, and it was like, but I wound up in this like massive void, right? I wound up in this like massive void, right? And there was this like Goliath being or whatever, who was he? H.P. Lovecraft, and he writes those stories about those monsters that get locked out of the universe. Well, it was like one of those experiences, dude. And it was like an infinite black hole going infinitely downward, and this thing was climbing up out of it towards me. And I held my hand out, and I'm like, in the name of God and Jesus Christ, I send the light and love and peace and joy of God your way. And it was like, away, away. And then the experience fizzled out and ended. And then I woke up, and I didn't really want to do it after that. So yeah, I mean, it was fun though, like astral projection is amazing, and then lucid dreaming. So I remember what I was talking about now. Here's the difference, right? Here's the difference between the two. So astral projection is like the astral realm. It's purely like there's physical reality, and there's astral reality, right? Which is like dream reality. And it's like an actual world. It's like an actual, real, tangible world. You have a sense of touch, a sense of smell, a sense of sight. You basically have all 5 of your senses. I've tested it, and I've touched things like the carpet in the basement or whatever, and it felt like the carpet, And then who is Unk feeling like? I have no idea what that means. Anyway, So yeah, you can like feel you can feel like, like the carpet or whatever. And you have like sense of feeling, sense of touch. You have astral senses, and they go far beyond physical senses. So in a way, it's almost more real than this reality, man. So like when an astral projection ends, though, you feel yourself snap back into your body, right? You go crack, and you're back in your body, and you wake up in your bed. And with a lucid dream, when the dream ends, it starts to spin. It starts to spin out like this, and it goes, whoosh, 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 and then it ends. And I had one lucid dream. It was crazy, man. Like, let's see here. Hi, hey, how you doing tonight, Sink Bacon? Um, my night hasn't been going bad, actually. Things have been going all right so far. I'm just sitting here making this video right now talking about astral projection. The thing that inspired this video, though, Bacon, was I had this crazy ass lucid dream last night where I wound up in this school, right? And it was a school that was teaching people to be like fighters and like killing machines, but it was also mixed with like Harry Potter, and it had this like magical aspect to it at the same time. It was really weird, but really cool. And like I jumped through a window, and I do this a lot in my lucid dreams. I jump through windows, and I jump through the window itself, and I start to fly, and I go right through the glass. Like literally, I don't feel the glass doesn't break or anything. I just fly right through the glass, and poof, I'm off in the air, and I'm off and I'm going. And yeah, but anyway, so there was this lucid dream that I had, and it was super fucking cool, dude. Like like what happened? Like, so I was in a shopping mall, right? And I was like walking and talking with these people or whatever. It was like a group of friends of mine, and we're just walking and talking, and all of a sudden I just randomly became lucid. I'm like, I go like that kind of, and they're looking at me. They're like, "You okay, man?" And I'm like, "This is a dream. I'm in a dream right now." And they're like, "Oh shit, we got to get him out of here. Come on, they know where he is. Come on, let's go." And I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like what? Like it was like the archons knew I had woken up or something, and they wanted to put me back to sleep, man. And so like they got me out of the mall, and then like we were on motorcycles, and like we were like running from something or whatever. And then like I fell off like the motorcycle flew up into the air, and like I fell or something like that. And as I fell, the dream ended. And as the dream ended, it like spiraled like this, like so yeah, astral dreams, they snap back, and lucid dreams, they spiral. So that's the difference between the two of those. But it's a very interesting concept, and I encourage you guys to read books by like what's his name, H.C. Ledbetter or H.W. Ledbetter, or it's called The Astral Realm: Its Scenery, Inhabitants, and Phenomena. And it's a very good book, and it contains like centuries of knowledge, man, from all these different astral projectors from the 1800s. And then another good one is Jurgen Zway on YouTube. And he's compared notes. He's astral projected for a good 50 years, dude. He's compared notes with like hundreds of other astral projectors. And he's literally made this whole like map of the afterlife, dude. There's this video, it's called The Far Reaches of Consciousness. And it explains like the process of like what happens when you die, and like how it's all tied to your state of mind, kind of. And it's tied to like your good deeds and your bad deeds. If you put bad shit out into the world, if you put bad energy out into the world, if you're a bad person, that bad shit comes back to you, right? But if you put good deeds out into the world, and that good shit ripples out, those good deeds ripple out, right? So if you're kind to someone, like let's say someone's down on their luck or whatever, or someone really needs money because they're about to lose their house, and you give them that $50, and it saves them, and they're so blessed and grateful that they pass it on to like 50 people, and those 50 people help like another 50 people, and you just wound up helping 100 people. That karma from all 100 of those people you helped, they got helped because of your one action, comes back to help you. But it's the same with bad karma too. If you harm somebody and then they go out and they harm somebody because of that, and let's say 50 people overall get harmed because of your one shitty action, you also have to suffer the karma for those 50 people too. And it's not like the way people think, trauma manifests in sort of a loop, right? And the trauma that's cast onto people from other people, it's like in a feedback loop sort of. So your physical body acts as like a protective shield. But once that physical body is gone and you're in your astral body and your dream body, you're no longer protected by from that. And all the forces, all the karmic forces in consciousness you've set in motion in your lifetime, they come to the chickens come home to roost, right? So yeah, I've been ranting for like 15 minutes here. My voice is getting kind of tired, so just bear with me. But I'll try to keep talking. Yeah. It's a very interesting topic, though. I think the most important thing in life is to prepare for death. And I don't mean that in any cryptic sort of way. I mean, like, like when you're in your 70s and 80s and you're going to pass on, like, when you're an old person, or like, cause like, or I mean, anything can happen, I mean, you could freaking die tomorrow for all, in a car accident or whatever. But I mean, like, but it's like important to prepare for the afterlife and to put goodwill and kindness out into the world, right? Not just kindness for others, but kindness for yourself too. You set boundaries and you learn to say no to people. So you're kind to yourself and you're kind to others. And that kindness will come back in such a beautiful way, man. And there's a thing that Jürgen Zeway said too. He said, if you want to know what happens when you die, look to your dreams. Look straight to your dreams will point it out for you. So if I'm having these crazy ass Harry Potter, like kick-ass dreams where I'm jumping out of windows and flying around, I must be doing something right. So hey, kudos to that, man. I think I'll end it there though, because my voice is getting tired. I'm kind of getting tired of talking here. I'll see you guys later, and I hope you have a good night. All right, bye.